Poilievre surges past Carney in popularity. Liberal platform flops as voters shift support. In a dramatic turn of events, Pierre Poilievre, leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, has surged past Mark Carney, the new leader of the Liberal Party and Prime Minister, in popularity. This shift marks a pivotal moment in the ongoing federal election campaign as Canadians start to express growing dissatisfaction with Carney's leadership and the Liberal platform. The momentum behind Poilievre is undeniable, with recent polling data showing a clear rise in support for the Conservatives. Just days after the English-language debate, where Carney's performance faltered, the latest polling results from Main Street Research indicate that Poilievre and the Conservative Party are now leading the race. The poll reveals the Conservatives at 42%, with the Liberals trailing at 38%. This marks a significant change from earlier in the campaign, where the Liberals were marginally ahead. Even more striking is the movement in leadership approval. Back in March, Carney enjoyed a plus 15% approval rating, while Poilievre had a negative approval rating of minus 9%. Now, Poilievre has flipped the script, with a plus 5% approval rating and Carney slipping to just plus 1%. This is an extraordinary shift that underscores the increasing disillusionment with the Liberal leadership and a growing alignment with Poilievre's message. Poilievre, long viewed as a polarizing figure, is beginning to win over voters who were initially unsure about his approach. While the media often labels him as too negative, accusing him of focusing too much on attacking the Liberal government, his message is resonating with a broad base of Canadians who are fed up with the status quo and want a leader willing to fight against Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's policies. Poilievre's rise can also be attributed to his consistent stance on issues like fiscal responsibility, law and order, and his opposition to government overreach. Many voters, particularly those who once leaned Liberal or were undecided, are now rallying behind him as they perceive him as the better option to counter the Liberal agenda. One of the key moments in this shift was the English-language debate, where Carney's performance failed to inspire confidence. While Poilievre's confident and fiery presence on stage resonated with many, Carney's lackluster showing turned off some of the undecided voters, especially those who had been previously leaning Liberal. The media's tepid coverage of the debate outcome further highlighted Carney's struggles, as the lack of enthusiasm around his performance showed that even Liberal-friendly outlets were having a hard time spinning his lack of decisiveness into a strength. For many Canadians, Carney's inability to inspire confidence on the debate stage reinforced doubts about his leadership abilities. As a result, a significant number of previously undecided voters have since shifted their support to the Conservative camp. The surge in support for Poilievre is reflected not only in national polling but also in the record-breaking advance voting numbers. On the first day of advance voting, over 2 million Canadians cast their ballots, a significant increase compared to previous election cycles. Anecdotal reports suggest that many of those voters were Conservatives, lining up in droves to make their voices heard. This is a promising sign for the Conservatives, who are hoping that the high turnout will translate into a strong performance on Election Day. For the Liberals, this presents a major problem. The party has long relied on a soft, unenthusiastic base that may not show up to the polls in sufficient numbers. This, coupled with the increasing popularity of Poilievre, suggests that the Liberals may struggle to maintain their hold on power. Main Street's polling also provides insights into regional dynamics. While the Conservatives have long held strong support in Alberta, the latest data suggests they are making inroads in traditionally Liberal strongholds, such as Atlantic Canada. Historically, the region has been a reliable source of seats for the Liberal Party, but the latest polling shows the Conservatives making significant gains. In fact, the Conservatives could be poised to win up to half of the seats in Atlantic Canada, a shift that would mark a serious blow to the Liberals' chances of retaining power. This change in voter sentiment was highlighted by the recent protests in Atlantic Canada, where 150 fishermen gathered to oppose a Liberal event. This was no isolated incident. It underscores a growing frustration with Carney and the Liberals in the region. As the Conservatives continue to build momentum, this could spell the end of the Liberals' dominance in the area. In Quebec, the Bloc Québécois is experiencing a resurgence, further complicating the Liberals' position. The bloc's rise threatens to siphon votes away from the Liberals, especially in the province's ridings that are critical to any Liberal hopes of holding on to power. Meanwhile, the Conservatives are seeing gains in Ottawa area ridings, areas that were once seen as Liberal strongholds. The bloc's resurgence, combined with the Conservatives' increasing popularity, signals that the Liberals may face significant losses in Quebec, further weakening their national support. The Liberals' platform, unveiled by Carney, has been met with mixed reactions. It includes significant spending proposals aimed at addressing housing, healthcare, and defense. Specifically, Carney's plan promises $130 billion in new spending, including $25 billion for prefabricated homes and $18 billion to meet NATO defense targets by 2030. While these plans sound ambitious, critics argue that they are overly vague and fail to adequately address Canada's most pressing needs. The government's proposed spending on climate schemes and industry subsidies has also raised concerns, with many wondering if these investments will actually lead to tangible job creation or if they will simply add to the country's growing debt. One of the most controversial elements of the Liberal platform is the proposed $28 billion in savings, which the government claims it will find through cost-cutting measures. Many voters are skeptical about the feasibility of this plan, especially given the Liberals' track record of increasing government spending. While Carney promised to bring a fresh approach to governance, critics argue that his platform reflects more of the same Trudeau-era policies that have left many Canadians frustrated and disillusioned. Even some Liberal-leaning voices have begun to express doubt about Carney's ability to deliver on his promises. The disconnect between Carney's rhetoric and the reality of his platform is becoming more apparent, and many are questioning whether he is truly the change agent he claims to be. At a time when voters are looking for strong leadership and clear solutions to pressing issues like inflation, housing affordability, and public safety, Carney's inability to offer concrete answers may ultimately hurt the Liberals in the long run. Furthermore, Carney's campaign has been marred by internal struggles and a lack of clear messaging. Reports have emerged of his team attempting to restrict access to events and preventing people like Kareem Assad from filming his public appearances. This is a troubling sign for a campaign that should be focusing on transparency and engagement. If Carney's team is unable to effectively manage internal conflicts and present a united front, it raises serious questions about their readiness to govern. With just days remaining before Election Day, the Conservatives are in a strong position to capitalize on the growing dissatisfaction with the Liberals and their leader, Mark Carney. Voters are increasingly drawn to Poilievre's message of fiscal responsibility, accountability, and a return to common-sense governance. Whether this momentum will be enough to secure a Conservative victory remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: the Liberals are facing an uphill battle in the final stretch of the campaign. As the election draws nearer, Canadians will have to decide whether they are ready for a change. The Conservatives are offering a clear alternative to the status quo, and Poilievre's rise in popularity suggests that many are ready to embrace that change. The Liberal platform, on the other hand, seems increasingly disconnected from the realities that Canadians are facing. The next few days will be crucial as the final voter turnout and election results unfold, but one thing is certain: the Liberals are no longer the frontrunners they once appeared to be.